It was an important game for both Cork and Down in Páirc, but the sides could not be separated in the opening few minutes. Cathal O'Mahony kicked over a stunning effort and the sides were 3 points apiece. Down went on the attack and had a good chance of an early goal, but Anthony Doherty's shot was deflected out for a 45 by goalkeeper Micheál Martin. Not long after, Daniel Dineen went in search of his own, but his effort hit the side net and went wide. The goal finally came for the Rebels after 27 minutes. John O'Rourke gave a sweet pass inside to Stephen Sherlock, who flicked the ball in over the goalkeeper Rory Burns for the umpire to raise the green flag. 3 points was the difference as Pat Havern added another one just before half-time, and it was 1-5 to 5 points. The sides continued to battle in the second half with a flurry of scores from Stephen Sherlock, Colm O'Callaghan and this one from Cathal O'Mahony, who returned to the attack to put 4 points between them. In the 48th minute, as the ball was worked through the channels, it landed into the hands of substitute Tiernan Rush, who reduced the gap to the minimum, and it was 1-10 to 1-8. With the time running out, Down continued to do the best they could. Ryan Higgins contributed, and also a big score came off the boot of Ryan McAvoy. The Bars man, Stephen Sherlock, put in an outstanding performance throughout and closed the scoring as he landed a personal tally of 1-7. It's a relegation for Down, but it was a well-needed first league win for the Rebels. Full-time score, Cork 116, Down 112.
And there is confirmation that Galway are promoted with a round to spare. It also means that they have nothing to play for in next week's game against Roscommon, as Pat was pointing out. A win for the Rossies, of course, would see them pip Derry for promotion regardless of the Ulster side's result against Meath. It looks like a straight shootout then between Offaly and Cork to avoid joining Down in Division 3 next year, and of course also in the Tailteann Cup this year. And if that ends in a draw next week, Clare could be in danger, but it does seem that their better score difference probably means that they should be safe in the event of 3 teams ending on the same points. Pat, Colm O'Rourke sat in that same chair this time last week and he used the word pathetic to describe Cork.
And 3 weeks earlier I was here and I used the word brutal. And perhaps we were harsh and maybe they deserved the criticism. I think they did. They were very poor. So I just have to say, like, we're not here to be critical. We're here to call something as we see it. If it's a bad performance, it's a bad performance. If it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck. And they had some bad performances. But let's give credit to Cork today. Their backs were against the wall. It was a must-win game against another team in the basement. They showed great character, great leadership. And one player, he's the best club player in Cork. In best forward in Cork, Stephen Sherlock. Brilliant with Finn Bars this year. But today I thought he was immense. I thought his work rate, which is not normally that good, that's him going back. His work rate. He scored 1-7, 1-2 from play. And just watch, like I said, we highlighted him back in defence. He carries on and scores. He's a very, very talented player. Never delivered on a consistent basis for Cork. But today I just thought he was superb from start to finish. And the goal, I think, was just a little classy finish. It was a lovely run from John O'Rourke. Nice. But, this is the intelligence of Stephen Sherlock. Another player would maybe try to catch it and go around the goalie. And like, Cork need, if they can draw against Offaly next week, now it's a big if they can draw against Offaly next week, they will have escaped and they will stay in Division 2. But why I really feel sorry for Cork, and they have been poor, but I was just looking at an article during the week, and Cork have given 15 debutants in this year's league. This is a team in transition, 15 debutants. And not alone that, they have 11 players on the injured list. So in fairness to Keith Ricken, he's a team in transition, he has a young team, but he has been operating with one hand behind his back. But credit where credit is due, great leadership, great character, and a deserved victory. Well,
if Keith Ricken is having struggles, certainly James McCartan is with Down. It seems to be... There seems to be so many issues, so many difficulties up there, and now they find themselves down in Division 3. In fact, you'd nearly wonder, might a tilt at the Tailteann Cup be a good thing, and might they even be able to, would they be in a position to even compete for it?
Yeah, well, look, just going on the league, possibly Division 3 is where they're at the minute. You have to say they're relegated with a game to go, so they deserve to be there. You're thinking Kilcoo, after winning the All-Ireland Club title, would it give Down football a bit of a boost, but it hasn't transpired that way. It's very unfortunate, but It's the reality where they're at the minute, and look at they've Ulster Championship coming up, first round of the game against Monaghan, and that nearly needs to be their focus now, and that's the challenge ahead, you know, for James McCarthy to try and get them up for that.
Just a quick word on Meath, because in the opening programme of the year we saw them against Galway. They didn't score for the entire first half, and then it was well into the second half before they finally did. So for them to be safe now appears to be quite an achievement.
It is, in fairness. You know, they had a horrible start to the league, you know. It was looking very dark for Meath football there for a couple of weeks. They pulled 2 massive wins out of the bag. Obviously the Cork game last week was a huge win. Got a bit of confidence from that, and then took that into the Clare game today. Really tight game, and one they pulled out of the fire right at the end. So yeah, things are looking slightly up now after that.